Have you ever bought something that's from a store's closing down sale, only to realize that the store is still in business more than a year later or longer? Hopefully, it will be a thing of the past for such stores to hoodwink customers if such stores are to follow a new set of guidelines set by the Competition and Consumer Commission of Singapore, otherwise known as CCCS. To talk more about this, I have Yuen Sin with me. Hi, Yuen Sin.
Hi.
Okay. So you wrote this story about closing down sales, how these sales never end.
Yeah.
There are also company sales where it's perpetually opening sale. Well, these have been happening for years now. So why is it only now that CCCS is setting up these guidelines?
Yeah, actually I'm curious about this as well, because I actually asked them why are they doing this now, but I don't think there was a response. But definitely there's interest in these guidelines because there has been online chatter about this phenomenon for, I guess, like at least the past 5 years or so, because it's such a common sight. And this topic is definitely in the spotlight because just last month, the Commission took action against a retailer for the first time for having such misleading promotions. So it involved a restaurant called Charcoal Thai. So basically, they've been having signs that say, oh, you know, this promotion is ending soon, 50% off. But when they went back to check again, you can tell that the promotions have been ongoing for at least 2 years. Yeah, so for the guidelines, I think what we can expect to see, even though details have not been released yet, it may include information about, if you have a promotion, you have to clearly state when is an end date. And I think as a retailer, you have to abide by that end date. So if you say that, this sale is ending by the end of this month, it has to be that in actual practice. Or, when you talk about offers of free products, for instance, if you sign up for a subscription or for like a package or something, you have to make sure that, this free product will actually be on offer. Yep.
In this case where Charcoal Thai offered discounts for steamboat items, it's in the interest of, it's for the benefit of the customers, no? Because they get to enjoy it for a longer period of time.
Yeah, you can see it from that way, in the way that, as a consumer, you may not necessarily lose out. But at the same time, the Commission's rationale is that it actually hurts competition, right? Because, there are so many steamboat restaurants out there, and you may be attracted to dine at this restaurant because it has this promotion that is ongoing forever. So it's actually not fair to other restaurants out there, right? Because they are abiding by the rules, but yet they don't get to have this benefit of extra visibility through its promotions and sales and so on.
And this is it will obviously be different if it's a store where that's selling clothes, for example, right? So if they miss out the customers into getting something because they think that, okay, this item is going to go out of stock very soon, or the store is going to close. So it creates this false sense of urgency for the customers, right?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the facts and each individual case. So I think one case that many consumers have been asking the authorities about would be the bargain stores that I've highlighted in that story. So value dollar stores, ABC bargain centers, these are discount stores that you see all the time, and they are very well known for having signs that declare, fire sale, everything must go. It's like plastered all over their shops. And I think the main beef that consumers have with this is that it makes it seem as if the store is closing down, especially with the phrase that says everything must close. But they come back, 1 or 2 years later, and they realize that the store is still there, right? But I think in the defense of the owner, he was saying that, the sign fire sale does not necessarily mean that a store is closing down. It just means that the store is selling things at a deep discount.
It's a hot sale.
Yeah, and if you really check their products, they are indeed cheaper than what you can get at supermarkets and so on. And even that phrase, everything must go, he was saying that, because the discount stores import different stocks of things, and they are all available on a very limited basis. So essentially you can say that, it's having a sale every single day, and all its products are always limited in quantity. So there are various ways in which you can look at it, and I think that I guess the guidelines from the Commission will help to clarify, what can be done to make things clearer to consumers, without misleading them into thinking that something is on limited, that it has limited availability.
So at the end of the day, who do you think are the most affected, negatively affected by these marketing tactics?
Yeah, I think, obviously if you are a discerning consumer and let's say you live in the area and you always walk past this shop, definitely the effect of such misleading claims will not have that much of an effect on you because you are familiar with it. So I guess it would most likely impact somebody who is not so familiar with the store and the brand, and the fact that if a sale has really impacted their purchasing decisions, you can say that that's not fair to them. And it also affects other stores in the same industry, so in terms of competition, right? So they get they're a bit on the losing end for this. But I think in the long term, if you're a store that employs such misleading sales tactics, it also hurts your brand in the long term, because people feel that I can't trust you anymore, right? Like everything that you say, you claim that closing down, or you claim that there's a sale, but you never seem to uphold that promise. So that can be something damaging for the store in the long term.
So what do you think consumers can do to protect themselves, or at least maybe make themselves more aware about such things?
So I think it's important to do your homework. So let's say if you see a sign about a sale and so on, you can check with the manager or the shop assistants and ask them, so how long is this sale? How long has this sale been ongoing? Is this a genuine sale, for instance? You can also do price comparisons online, and I think that at the end of the day, you can look at prices online, and if you really want the best deal, making your own comparison, that can be something that works the best for you.
My favorite tactic to use is, if I don't need it, I just don't buy it.
And then you can save money.
Thank you so much, Yuen Sin.
Thank you.
Now, those were our top stories for the day, and thank you for joining us. For more news and videos, do log on to straitstimes.com. Once again, I'm Melissa. For more big stories, join us again, same time, same place tomorrow.